Hello everyone, my name is Kenmei, and today we are going to do some Project Resplendent. I thought I would actually do some summoning video, but things gotta change, and I guess today we can actually look at another project, which is going to be Múspell Ishtar. She was the second most requested Resplendent, so I think we can start right away. Oh, and a little item from last time, I kept on talking about Rebecca Satchel instead of Sash. I'm really sorry. But I think we can go on and take a look at what Múspell Ishtar would look like. So first things first, we can look at the reference I'm going to use. Of course, I'm going to use our Fire Emblem Heroes version. We can look at our Freysia alt as well, and we're going to also look at the many Múspell heroes, either Resplendents or a character from Múspell, excluding Múspell himself, because like Nifl, they feel a bit out of character, so yeah, let's start. So first we're going to take a look at the pose. Ishtar is someone both commanding and she has this noble standing to herself. So I wanted to try something a bit more commanding, a bit more noble-like than what they did in Heroes. What they did in Heroes wasn't that bad, but, kinda wanted to make her that, house leader, the house leader of Frigga. As you can see, it took me a lot of tries to find the right balance between the arms, especially with the legs. I didn't know what to do with her legs, so I think it shows, but now that I have the pose, I actually started with her face, nothing out of the usual here, basically making her, I don't know, a bit not very menacing, but maybe confident in her abilities. Someone said it looks like she just opened the fridge and someone ate her pudding, but yeah. What I had in mind is someone who really doesn't mess around. So here, of course, as usual, cleaning up the body before actually starting on the design. But that's always like a work. This is supposed to be a sketch, Kenmei. Stop! So for reference, I talked about the fact that I was mainly going to use Múspell characters. I mainly use female characters from Múspell, namely Levitane, Legiarn, and I mostly took inspiration from what they did with Sonia and with Lilina. I also had Minerva in mind, but Minerva was a bit more bulky, so, in design-wise, so I focused a bit more on the other characters. So, first thing I actually designed was the belt, because I thought the belt was actually one of the easiest, Múspell has this kind of distinctive belt, it was easy to put there. Then I started to work a bit on the top, and I had a hard time deciding on a good mix between her usual outfit and what she could look like in Múspell. So here's the first try. I'm slightly going for the shoulder pads because I know I'm just going for these big shoulder pads you can see in a lot of characters, either from Múspell. She also has these big shoulder pads. So I'm going to do the same on the other arm, but also for the hairpiece, I went with a look similar to what Levitane has, but for only one part, since Ishtar has a ponytail and not twin tails. Next, I went with the feathers, replacing the bottom of Ishtar's original shoulder pads, because I thought it would be both intimidating and not as silly as her hero's incarnation. Going in with the cape, the upper part of the cape, this kind of vampire look. And then I think I decided what I wanted to do with the top. So something like what Levitan has around the neck with the jewels Ishtar has in our original art, but nothing in between. I shaped a bit the breast area with the, I don't know, with something you could see on Levitan actually. Then I'm going to work a bit on her dress, on the bottom part of the dress, and unlike what they did with Heroes, I decided that the leg that was going to be shown was going to be the left leg and not the right leg. It's funny because in her original art, this is the leg that was mostly shown, and they switched back to the right leg with any other iterations, so back to the source. I also went with the pattern you can see with the cloth you can see on leg yarn, making the belt slightly up because it doesn't go that low, and you also have this kind of rounded belt, and I'm actually going to make the scales, the Múspell scales, go down from there. But first I'm working on the gloves, making the gloves look like what she usually has. So here, the kind of chainmail, it's kind of a staple. A lot of Heroes character has this chainmail aesthetic, but you kind of have to spell Múspell with them, with the black one. I haven't done the chainmail isn't done quite yet, but I focused a bit more on the leg part, and basically this is basically Levitan's shoes mixed with the tip of Ishtar's shoes actually, but pretty simple. Nothing to report here. And actually, the design is almost done. The only two things missing are, the cape, which I'm going to work on right now, and the hair, which actually was a bit of trouble. But basically, the cape quite simple, a bit tattered, a bit damaged. And can't wait to see the color of the flames. I also added a few patterns reminiscent of Ishtar's tome, actually, in Heroes, just to make the shoulder pads a bit less bland. It took me quite a few tries to actually do the hair, as you can see, maybe. Took me a while to find the right balance with Ishtar's hair. But now we can actually go. Basically, the design is done. Color-wise, I guess the color was also a challenge, because Ishtar in her iteration she has a great balance between the black of the dress and a few points of white put here and there. It was actually quite hard because in Múspell you don't have white, basically. So I had to work with the gold, the black, and basically I went with purple and a few bits of reds. You'll see the color of the interior of the cape later. But basically I mostly took inspiration from Legian's color, because basically it was I could find all the colors I wanted for Ishtar there. For the socks and the gloves, I actually made something similar to what you can see on Levitan. For the shoulder pads, I noticed a bit late. Then you also usually have this thin red stretch. So I added it there to make the shoulder pads a bit darker. I guess giving Ishtar red gloves could have also worked, but honestly I kinda like the design I came with in the end. Now with the black of the dress, she's starting to look like a Múspell, the Múspell Queen. And I think now it took me a few tries to find how to make the fire effect, but as you can see, I managed to find my workflow. I also did a few attempts of colors, because of course the red gave her fiery look, but I also tried a few other colors, slightly more purple, and then I just added it to the upper part of the dress. And now the long part of shadowy. So basically, it took me quite some time. Honestly, this piece took me a lot of time. I didn't think it would. But I guess, compared to Sweet Rebecca last time, I guess, I kind of like taking, whenever there's a character I want to make pretty, I guess I took way too much time. So, yeah, basically this is the shading part. I guess next character, I think, who was it? We have Henry and Jaffar. I think Jaffar was in front of Henry, so next time will be Embla. Feel free in the comments to give me a few ideas for Resplendent right now. I also have Nefani for Dokkalfheimr and May for Nifl. So if you'd like a character that hasn't had a Resplendent yet and that is part of the most likely to get a Resplendent, please feel free to do so. I'd love to see your suggestions. And for the summoning session, I think I'm going to do it in the coming days. Really like what they did with all the characters, but hey, we'll talk about that in due time. So this is it for Ishtar, the Queen of Fire. Of thunder and fire. I wonder how hard it would be for a Thunder Mage to learn fire magic, right? In Avatar The Last Airbender, I guess you thunderbrand if you're a firebender, but it doesn't work that way in Fire Emblem, so hey. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this piece, and I hope you will like it as well. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you're having a good day, and until next time, take good care of yourselves everyone. Bye bye!